changed what people thought about American. That was a pure American expression.
We might have to break the rule here.
The problem is this podcast that is ill-conceived.
Maybe he was the worst guy I ever met in my culinary life.
Houston, we have a problem.
You keep on looking at your list, Jose.
Okay.
You're very concerned here.
They told me this was going to be a podcast with Wolfgang. It's going to be about chefs and food, so I got ready.
Let's get into some Polymarket stuff. Who do we think is going to be the next CEO of Apple? Polymarket is predicting John Turnus at 59%, overwhelming favorite.
You can stop there.
It's John.
I believe it's John.
It's John.
Yeah. But I think a better predictive conversation would be, does Tim Cook get moved up to chairman, or does he leave the company? Like, what happens with
How
Tim?
does that transition happen?
How does that transition? That's a better market.
Well, what happens with Iger right now? Does he move up to chairman, or does he?
No, I think he's there's a small transition, but he's moving on.
So you think it's more important for Apple that Tim stay right now?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Wolfgang, you introduce Jose and kind of give you let the audience know who he is, and then Jose, you introduce Wolfgang, and then we don't have to introduce each other because everybody knows us schmucks. So you guys can start. So Wolfgang, please.
Well, here's my friend José Andrés. I really would say he needs no introduction. You know, I think David Letterman did a show like that once, no? José Andrés is born in Spain and immigrated just like me to America, became one of the most famous chefs in the world, has restaurants all over. But what I love about him too is he gives back to the community. With his World Kitchen, he does work all over the world, really helping people in need of food and everything. And I think we are lucky to come to America and be successful. But giving back is really what I admire the most about you. Yes, there are many great chefs out there, but there is only one José Andrés.
Can I ask you a question? Where did you start your studies or your cooking, or was it here? I mean, the most of the studies was where?
I'm still studying. We are still studying. You know what happens, Harry? The more you know nothing, right. Especially culinarily. Obviously, I began when I was very much 14, 15, going to a school, which I never graduated. I began working in Star Michelin restaurants, French restaurants.
How old were you?
I was 15, 16.
And you knew right then that that's what you wanted to do?
Oh, yeah. I wanted to be a cook even before. Even my father was a nurse, but my father loved to cook. And cooking at my home was, number one, was a necessity. Because in Europe, in those days, it's not like you will go to the restaurant every week. So my mom loved to cook. My father loved to cook, especially for friends on the weekends. Yeah.
Can I ask you a question? Was any of the people you learned from like somebody from The Bear, the show The Bear? Like, were they so mean and intense?
Oh, totally. When I was young in Austria, when I left home on a different way, because my stepfather was a true terrorist, really. So when I was 14, I told my mother, I want to go. And she said, I find you a job in a town near me. She found me a job like 50 miles away. I started my apprenticeship there, 14 years old. 2 months later, the chef, a total crazy guy, just like my father, he used to go behind you, kick you in the butt, slap you, anything. And
was he a good chef?
I don't think so. He did. You know, his son came to LA once and says, you know, my father was so proud of you, of what you achieved. I said, fuck. He was the worst guy I ever met in my culinary life.
Did you say that to him?
Yeah. And I walked away. I didn't pay for his bill. I didn't nothing. He made me so upset because he really believed, and people turned the story around. Yeah. So it was.
But did he teach you anything?
He taught me about resilience and never give up. That's really what I learned. Wow. So after 2 months, he fired me. He said, "You're good for nothing. Go back home to your mother." And I was gone. So I said, "I'm not going home. I'm gonna kill myself." So that night, I said, I went to the bridge. There was a big bridge going over the river, Drau. And I was standing there like for an hour looking down and thinking, what will happen if I jump in the water?
Oh my God.
At 14?
At 14, yeah. And then after like half an hour, a light bulb went out. I said, maybe I'm just going to go back tomorrow morning and see what happened. So I went back the next morning, really, I couldn't sleep all night. I went back to the place, the little hotel and restaurant where I worked, and the apprentice who was above me was so happy to see me, so he didn't have to peel potatoes and carrots and onions and all that stuff. And so he hid me down in the vegetable cellar, and like 10 days later, so the chef comes down.
He sees you.
And he sees me and starts screaming and grabbing me by the back. I was holding on to the potato bag and screamed back at him because I was so desperate. And I was holding the bags and everything. He grabbed me and I screamed back at him. And finally he said, I'm going to call the owner. He called the owner, comes down in the cellar. And the chef said, gee, he's good for nothing. He has to go home. And I said, I'm not going home. I'm not going home. And then finally the owner said, okay, let's send him to the other hotel. They had another little hotel in town there. So I went there, and we had a woman who was the chef there, and she said, just shut up, do your job, and everything will be fine. She had more empathy, and so I started there. And
she taught you how to chef? Yeah.
She taught me a lot, but not much.
Okay, so now you have to do his introduction.
Wolfgang Pack, not to be confused. I mean, he can be the masters of a movie where he's the chef, and the restaurant is called The Gang of Wolf. I mean, Wolfgang, he was a rebel. He is a rebel. He was one of the first rebels in the kitchen. I mean, he's the guy that single-handed very much rewrote the rules of fine dining. He was a fine dining before Wolfgang and after, and obviously bringing European techniques with what I would say the California soul. That was mind-blowing. I mean,
that was 44 years ago.
Yeah.
Wow.
And Wolfgang put chefs in the spotlight.
Yeah.
He was the rock star chef before anybody was talking about the rock star chef. So, you know, he very much, I believe that what he did was transforming restaurants almost into a cultural event.
I'm going to have him write my introduction for my next book.
So here's what it is. Ready? Your restaurants, because you are doing this, cannot be on the list. Sorry. Okay? You guys are off limits.
I'm done. Thank you.
Okay, so
all right, so wait a second. Can I ask you guys a question? What is the criteria? Oh my God, stop.
I mean, they told me this was going to be a podcast with Wolfgang, with you guys. Yeah. It was going to be about chefs and food, so I got ready.
So what is the criteria for a great restaurant from your guys' perspective?
So I think, obviously, it starts with hospitality. To me, the way they make you feel when you come to a place changes everything.
You know, when I was very young, I will love to be walking in front of those restaurants in Barcelona. These restaurants that I knew I didn't have the money to go in because, you know, my mom, my father were nurses, but we're talking about these restaurants that you are like, I'm not dressed to belong in this place.
Right.
But that you came from a world that you will say, I cannot go into that restaurant, right?
Right.
And I will walk in front of the restaurant to wait for the moment they will open the door. And it's something that happens to me with cookbooks, all cookbooks. That when I collect books, Wolfgang too, but I have books from the 1600s, 1700s, 1800s. And when you get one of those books, I'm sure you can read it, I'm sure you can touch it, but it's something that you close your eyes and you smell it. And the smell is so many things. The smell is history. The smell is like, wow, this place has been here forever. It's like smelling a good cheese, smelling a good wine that had ages, that has many years, decades sometimes. And then you say, oh my God, I've never smelled something like this. So what I would say is not smell itself, but feeling. Like you are inside the place and you close your eyes and the smell, the noises, the warmth, it tells you that this is a unique place, which in part is hospitality as Wolfgang But what I'm trying to tell you is something like
It's also a little bit of the history, the kind of.
It's not like tangible itself.
Yeah.
But it's like you go in the place and the place has gravitas, has weight. That you are there and you say, oh my, not because you read, even that helps, but because you're in a place that you sense your body, every part of your body feels.
I like that.
That is something very powerful.
I got a question for you both. Is it important that the restaurants have had impact on other restaurants to you guys? They've influenced food outside of their own world?
No. For me, no. You know what? Restaurant is like, it's in a way, it's like music or it's like paintings, you know. Picasso influenced a lot of people, but I don't like some artists because he got some influence. Now, if he would just paint like Picasso, it would never be
as good.
A Picasso.
Yeah.
It would never be as good. So I think to me, they influence because cooking is love. And cooking is like every little detail could be different. It doesn't matter if you get influence from somebody.
Everybody got influence, but it's how you take that influence.
You stand on the shoulders of a lot of people who came before, you know, for sure. But then it is so interesting, and one of the great things for a chef is you can make 100 people happy, but you have to have each fish has to be cooked perfectly. Doesn't matter where the influence come from. Maybe the influence of the technique, but then you still have to do it. You still have to execute it.
Okay, Jose, do you have your 4?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll have my 4.
Go on.
Oh, I have to go?
Yeah, you have to go.
Okay. Obviously, we're not talking about hours, but for me, one restaurant is still open, which is amazing, fascinating, and created the opportunity to know that rural America could have amazing restaurants / hotel / inns. Will be the Inn at Little Washington by Chef Patrick O'Connell.
Whoa.
Why?
I like
this guy moved over 40 years ago in middle nowhere, rural Virginia, and began a little thing, a little catering in the middle of nowhere. And he has created what is he's a 3-star Michelin right now. But what I'm in awe is that he bet everything he had into dreaming that he could not only build a great restaurant and a great inn, but very much he became the economic powerhouse of an entire rural area.
Wow.
Patrick O'Connell and the Inn at Little Washington, for me, is one of those restaurants that...
Fantastic. I love that. What's a place I have to go now?
You have to.
Okay, number 2.
Other one that for me obviously was very important, and I became a good friend, and he was such an amazing chef and hard worker, many books, Charlie Trotter in Chicago.
Yeah. That documentary was unbelievable.
Yeah. What Charlie Trotter did in so many ways was
I think that restaurant and him was the basis for the TV series. I think he and the craziness of him and the lights going out of his house. And I think that was the inspiration. When you look at that documentary, I mean...
I have to look at it.
You have to see it. It's incredible.
The other restaurant, Wolfgang, that for me was very iconic, and mainly because I went there almost in a very sarcastic way. I almost was going there to say, I'm not going to like it, and I don't understand. And this was Chez Panisse, Alice Waters.
Yeah.
What year did you go?
1990.
That was at the beginning.
No.
It opened in 70.
No, 98.
Oh, really?
74 or something.
Yeah.
When did she open? Very early on. Well, when did she open? We need to know. Hold on.
Yeah, in the 70s.
In the 70s.
Yeah.
So you were going there to say...
73, I think.
You were going there to say,
75.
you know something, everybody talking about you, but it's not that great.
Well, because, you know, the movie, the photos I was watching, she opened in 1971.
Wow.
And she believed in local, she believed in seasonal, in ways nobody was talking back then. And quite frankly, when I went to the restaurant, you know, I was coming from 2 or 3-star Michelin in Europe, Jean-Louis Nechel, the best French chef we had in Spain back in the 80s, Ferran Adrià doing Revolutionary. And she's a woman that she will serve you a clementine or 2 dates for dessert. 2 dates. 2 dates on the plate. 2 dates. No even peel. 2 dates. Like the caviar I'm having right now. Okay, 2 dates. and you will be like, what the heck? And you got that date. And it's the first time ever, and we have dates where I grew up in Spain, and Morocco is right there. And those dates were like liquid inside. But not because any modernity technique, any new technique she did. It's only because it was the best date anybody could buy at the right moment. In the right
she
place.
knew.
And that date was fascinating. But her entire meal. So in a way, Chez Panisse, in its amazing simplicity, that simplicity didn't mean that was not unbelievable.
Okay.
So I will say
That's number 3.
Chez Panisse deserves.
Can I ask
to
you a
be-
question? Charlie Trotter, what year did you go? Because I'm from Chicago.
Very early on.
Yeah. That's
Was the
like,
restaurant called Charlie
Early
Trotter
night-
also?
yeah.
Early 90s.
Wasn't it called Charlie Trotter's?
Yeah.
Sure.
Sure. He did a lot of things with him.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
was
wasn't it?
incredible. He put tables in the kitchen. He created that concept.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, it was unbelievable back then.
Yeah.
What's Jose grabbing?
What's Jose grabbing?
Yeah. Charlie Trotter, the only one.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had so many amazing books.
He was from the suburbs. He grew up. Either he went to Neutral East or Neutral West or one of the schools in the suburbs.
Was he a star when you
I
were...
think he went to he with my brother Zeke. They were in or Ram. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Everybody kind of knew about him. Yeah.
And then obviously, again, it's very hard, right? But I'm gonna take it home. I mean, listen, we are living. I'm sure you're gonna have your restaurants, and we're gonna be covering a lot of other people, because people like Emery Lagasse.
Yeah.
It's amazing, and
All right, you're outside the boundaries. You got to stick.
I know,
You
but
got to
I'm
pick
gonna,
one more.
I'm gonna do homage.
Okay,
I'm gonna
just
do
pick one
homage.
more.
Just pick one more.
I'm gonna do homage to a French chef. Obviously, I love Le Bernardin and Eric Rippert, and should be too. But Jean-Louis Palladin.
Jean-Louis Palladin, yeah. He was
In
amazing
Washington,
at this time.
D.C.
Wait,
at the
who?
Watergate.
Jean-Louis Palladin had the
You're
restaurant
too young,
in
Harry.
D.C.
You're too young. Jean-Louis Palladin.
at the Watergate.
When I came to Washington, D.C. in 93, Washington, D.C. had some of the most amazing French chefs, Yannick Cam, others.
Yeah.
Still
Mr.
open?
No, he died.
No.
He was
So he was at the
crazy
Watergate. He passed away. But Jean-Louis Palladin was amazing. He was really a rock and roll chef. If you ask many chefs today who were their favorite chef in the late 80s, 90s, Jean-Louis Palladin will be in the mouth of many.
Wow.
Unfortunately, he passed away. He tried to open a restaurant in New York later on in his life. He got cancer. But Jean-Louis Palladin, I remember eating in his restaurant as a chef in the iconic building overlooking the Potomac River, right there between the White House. Jean-Louis Palladin, I will say, was that kind of restaurant I wish was still part of
He
Washington,
didn't teach
D.C.
anybody that could take over for him?
He was so unorganized. I had him come up and do our food and wine festival and everything too. Oh my God. He was like,
crazy.
He could be like Alice Cooper or somebody like that with curly hair, smoking all the time. Not that Alice smokes now, but smoking all the time. But his palate and his execution was amazing. They had this little restaurant down in the Watergate.
Wow.
But I remember when I went the first time there, when I started our frozen pizza business, and I rented the restaurant and we served our pizzas down there.
And he was that good, huh?
Yeah, amazing.
Okay, that's an amazing list.
I'm going to restaurants that also were important for me. Look this is the guy.
Yeah.
Wow. Incredible.
When did he pass away?
Oh, long time. 10
long.
years ago. No insurance, no nothing.
But a great chef. Great talent.
Totally immersed in his thinking probably he's going to live forever. I mean, I think he had a kid or whatever, no insurance, not even to pay for, no money in the bank. I mean, it was like...
Yeah, he passed away on November 13, 2001, and he was only 55.
Wow. All right.
And for me,
Wolfgang.
but Ari, I have to say this. The first time I opened my Spanish restaurant, a restaurant has been open 33 years, Aleo. On the first weekend, he comes. The restaurant is empty, downtown DC, in the Penn Quarter, 1993. And I didn't know who he was. He called for the chef. It's a Sunday night. I come, restaurant empty, first weekend very much. And he says, with his French accent, and you are this famous young chef that work in the best Michelin stars in DC. And you work with Ferran Adrià. He knew more about me than... And I keep saying, yes. And then he gives me the tortilla española he had in his table, the Spanish omelette, potatoes, onion, eggs.
Yeah.
He gives it to me and he says, get this fucking shitty omelette, go back to the kitchen, throw it in the garbage, and make me one in the way I know you know how.
Wow.
You know one thing? When you ask me who your best friends are, is the people that take a personal interest
In your success.
in you personally, in the city. I went to the kitchen. He was right. I cook it. I brought it back. I didn't care who he was. I only knew it was somebody that knew, that cared. If anything, besides he was an amazing chef, he also cared, like Wolfgang, caring for his community, like so many others. And this for me changed my mind in so many ways. That's why I respect him even beyond the chef he was, the talented chef he was. Because on top of that, he made sure he will not go behind you and say, oh, the food of Jose sucks. He will tell you in your face to help you to become the better
Was there
version.
was there one recipe he had in his book that you said, Jose or Wolfgang, that you said, wow, I'm going to make that and it was incredible? Or did he not write it down?
No, I don't. He had a very big book, and I remember he had one dish. It was like a Napoleon, layers of thinly cut swordfish and caviar. It was like black and white and black and white. I still remember, I said, who the fuck would do a dish like that? You must be crazy to have the warm fish, the caviar, and then with the sauce. I still remember, I still see the picture.
Was it good?
I didn't eat it, but I saw it in his
the
book.
book.
So when I remember one dish I had, it was an braised oxtail. He took it out, took the meat off, picked the meat up, and then he made it in kind like a hamburger, like he put it in cow fat, and then sauteed that and served it with the sauce where he braised the meat in it. And I said, wow, it looks like a hamburger, except it tastes amazing.
Wow.
Yes.
Naturally,
And he was very good with game.
Yeah.
He was very good with elk. Very good with venison in season. I mean, anything he touched was amazing.
because from where he came from in the
I'm
southwestern
raising my
France.
glass.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm
really?
raising my glass of champagne to him.
Cheers.
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 All right.
Great list.
Water.
Great
coffee.
list.
We are in
I
the-
didn't give him any. You're embarrassing us. I gave him nothing. We're schmucks.
I understand, Ari. I understand you don't have enough.
Yeah, listen,
enough
it's-
budget.
Yeah,
I send you
exactly.
the champagne
Yeah.
I mean, it just changed
the
the show
next
forever.
podcast.
Okay, Wolfgang, your list.
Business is tough here in Los
It's
Angeles.
very
you know.
difficult.
Yeah.
Very, very difficult. All right, Wolfgang, your list.
All right. So I wrote down, obviously it's very difficult. The first one is the Four Seasons in New York. The Four Seasons restaurant, which is closed now, how many years? You can Google it. When did Four Seasons
my
close? When
I agree with you.
Basically, when Paul Colby and Tom Margitay and Seppi Wrangley was the chef. So that was probably in the 70s, 80s.
Right.
Yeah.
It was the quintessential restaurant. Designed by Philip Johnson.
I love this.
Yeah.
Art by, I think they had Picasso carpets there, or you know, what you call them, the carpet you hang on the walls. I mean, great art, and I love art too. So I
And
think,
the hospitality was
and
great.
the hospitality, they were always there. When the restaurant wasn't open, they were at home, but they were always there. There were two, Tom Margitay and Paul Colby, also immigrants. I think they were Hungarians or something like that.
1959. Opening 1959. 21st of July.
Yeah,
Great restaurant.
yeah.
I remember,
remember
I mean,
they had
I
the
used to go to
full
lunch there.
The
Incredible.
lunch at the grill room
was incredible.
was famous, yeah. And then when they once below them, when they took over, I don't know, then it started to go down. Okay. And I think now they've Major Food Group or somebody is doing it. It's not what
it's not what it used to be.
Not at all. No. And then I agree with you. I think Chez Panisse was always, Alice is obviously a dear friend of mine. I think she made a big splash of using mainly ingredients around what she found there. Also, don't forget, at that time, there were very few women chefs.
Wow.
You know, people always said it's a man's profession, you know, and for women, obviously, it's more difficult because when you are in your prime, maybe you want to have kids, you have to have kids. Generally, the man doesn't stay home and take care of the kids. The women have to do it. I think Alice really did an amazing job up there with her small restaurants in the small house, really, and have only one menu. And people used to make reservation weeks in advance. And she showed them that simplicity and good execution with great ingredients will always win out.
And also, it was great. It was great ambiance.
Yeah, no, amazing.
It was a new ambiance.
Yeah.
Okay. Great second.
Beautiful.
And then I must say Le Bernardin, because I love the simplicity. Why? Because you can get a fish perfectly cooked. It doesn't have 16 things all over the place. You get a black bass, it's seared perfectly, or you get a lobster.
How many different chefs have been there?
Yeah.
Is it Eric Ripert?
Yeah.
Because
it's the same restaurant constantly.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
Yeah, no, totally. The longevity, he has 4 stars in the New York Times, 3 stars in the Guide Michelin, forever. And I was very friendly with Gilbert Lecoz, who started it. I remember we got the scallops from Ingrid Pengis up in Bangor, Maine. Ingrid is dead. Gilbert is dead. We still get the scallops from over there, or sometimes mussels and other products.
But it's been consistent.
It's so consistently good. And it's all about the execution, you know. His concentration on how to cook the fish perfectly, how to make a sauce perfectly. I don't think anybody can do it better than they do it there. And they serve 200 dinners a night.
Wow.
I just sent my manager from New York there, my manager from Spago in Las Vegas there. I said, look at them. They do over 200 dinners a night.
And they're all the same and perfect.
And look at their execution, look at their hospitality.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah, I agree. And if I was gay, I will marry him.
But you still can change. You're still handsome.
I know, but that's why I'm saying it publicly in case one day happens.
Okay, you're fourth, Wolfgang.
Okay, so the fourth was one from Chicago, is Alinea. I think Grant changed the restaurant world.
Didn't he come from, what's his name restaurant? Did he come from
Charlie Trotter?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, he did.
But he took it on a complete different level.
Yeah.
And it was very tough. I sent my son Byron there to work.
I think Charlie got so mad at him because he got a Michelin before Charlie did, or...
No, he got 3 stars and Charlie never got it.
Never got a star.
I think
he was incredible.
Yeah. So I think his whole thing, to have a bare black table.
Stupid.
And then bring everything out there as it comes. And we were laughing. I think it was fun at it. I said, you know, talking about gay, he had the dish with the lobster. It came on the thing. He had all these things made specially. And on top was like a plate like this. And then it was a thing like this. And then he had the lobster croquette like here. And we were laughing. I said, Jesus Christ, every gay guy going to come and try the lobster. So he was really a genius in doing a complete different thing. And I think for me, it's really one of the most important restaurants in America.
Yeah.
Wow.
So Wolfgang, you said Alice Waters then?
Chez
Panisse too?
Yeah.
Then I'm taking Chez Panisse out of my list.
No. You cannot do it.
Because we need to open the possibility.
No, you don't.
We need to open.
No, you don't.
And
you can't change the rule of our show. You can't change the rule of our show.
Okay. All right.
Keller has really changed.
No.
How about just for the fun of it, we do an international?
We're gonna do it. That's the next show we do. Okay.
Good.
So Ben, now your list.
Okay, now my list. Chez Panisse also, for the same reasons. I lost my voice before this episode, and I want to say more than I want to pick your guys' brains on everything, but I think that if there's a single trend that's continued in food in the last half century, it's farm to table. That is what every restaurant and every chef in California, of course, here idolizes and reveres and celebrates, and that is what has
She created that.
She created that.
No, she did not create it.
Or
We grew up with that
in Europe.
in Europe.
she brought it here.
She didn't bring it.
She embraced it.
Huh?
She embraced
She
it.
embraced
like
it. She
nobody
said,
else
you
did.
know, why don't we do it here? And maybe if she would have been in Kansas City, it would have been different. But she was in the perfect location
And she
to be able to get that and help the farmers along. So that was good. But in Europe, I was at Beaumanière. They opened in 45. He had 6 gardeners.
Yeah, you don't know what you're talking about.
I'm going to go ahead and shut the fuck up.
Okay.
But
Okay. You're talking about...
Yeah.
I stand corrected.
Okay,
She
second.
added to the legacy of farm to table.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Second.
Second is McDonald's. I'm not joking. I think McDonald's is hugely important. It defines American food for negative or for positive.
I have never eaten, so I can't comment.
Okay.
I only had the French fries because somebody told me the French fries
They're
are
incredible.
Did you like the French fries?
You know, it has no flavor. To me, in
tastes
America,
like salt.
if you just put salt, fry it, and put ketchup on
Again,
it.
shut the fuck up. I love that answer.
All right, good.
Okay.
Okay,
Hold
you
on a
could,
second.
you know
Are
what?
you talking McDonald's in the Mount Rushmore of restaurants?
Thank you. You see what I have to deal with?
Absolutely.
Okay, keep on going.
I think
he only wants to be provocative.
Yeah.
Jose.
No, I don't think it's provocative.
Okay, keep going.
At least if you would have said In-N-Out Burger, my
Here's the
kids
thing.
like it.
How about this? More Americans have related to food and happiness and family through McDonald's than any of these.
And it's killing them.
Most
And
people,
exactly. And more died because of it, too.
Yeah. Okay, keep going.
you elite
Okay.
motherfuckers.
Okay.
I think French Laundry, for, again, my generation.
Yeah. What do you mean, your generation? You're older than us? Or what?
I'm older than you guys.
We don't remember that.
You guys are young cats.
Okay.
Yeah, I think.
But you can go out of California. You don't have to stay in California.
No, I have to stay in California.
Okay, good.
And I think my fourth, this is going to be even more frustrating. Oh, I'm just going to get yelled at by all 3 of you. But I'm going to say Momofuku. Because I think that until, again, I don't have the kind of historical knowledge that you guys have, but I think that East Asian food, I mean, Nobu for Japanese food, but East Asian food, Korean food, Chinese food was looked at as like cheap food in America. It was looked at as like, you get it in a strip mall, you get it in a whatever, it's delivery, you don't think deeply about it. And I think that since David Chang, we changed our perspective on that. And as you guys are immigrants and came from this generation, like bringing kind of your experiences here, and I think probably inspired a lot of food in this country. I think there's a lot of East Asian cooks, I think Hispanic cooks that look at Chang and say,
Wow.
oh, I can present this in a way that...
No, don't listen. He's an amazing chef at his restaurant. I mean, I'm so glad you are in the music business and you're doing so well in the music business.
Can you believe if he would be the food critic of the New York Times?
No, by the way, Jose, I don't do much better with the
I
music
love David
episodes.
Chang, and I'm not gonna be against that because he is one of the great without a doubt. But
Yeah.
I wish instead of McDonald's you said White Castle.
I almost did say White Castle.
Okay.
Because at the beginning,
But it's...
1921.
I know, but it's fucking disgusting.
Okay,
It's so
stop.
bad.
Okay.
I love White Castle. You know what? I started in Indianapolis because I'm a big fan of auto racing. So Formula One especially, but the 500 miles. When I came to Indianapolis, we went to some club. I picked up a girl. She wanted to go to White Castle. So I said, okay, I have never heard about it. I walked in. I said, Jesus Christ, I thought it's going to be some nice place. But I got lucky afterwards, so it was a good.
love White Castle.
It was good for White Castle.
Halle Berry's
Okay,
favorite White Castle.
I know.
Here's my list. Chez Panisse, yes.
Okay.
Le Bernardin, yes. Now I have a problem.
Okay.
So I have like
Houston, we have a problem.
I have like 19 different. Okay, I'm gonna go with someplace in Washington D.C.
Okay, nice.
Rose's Luxury in Washington D.C.
What's that?
Okay?
What's that?
One of the world's great restaurants for hospitality.
Roasters is great.
It's great, right? Generosity. I mean, it's and kind of like the technique is it's simple, but it kind of works.
What kind of food?
It just anything you want. I mean, how would you define the food, Jose?
I mean, it's fine dining, but
Yeah.
it's not stiff, right?
Yeah.
So-
But the
which is-
hospitality, going to what you said, is like.
I mean,
Yeah.
listen, the chef Aaron Silverman, besides a great guy, is a very talented chef. So I have nothing there.
Roses.
Has
What is it?
technique, but it's a
Rose's
very
Luxury?
joyful place.
Yeah.
Roses Luxury.
It's a very sophisticated restaurant, but it's a very neighborhood restaurant.
Okay, so then I'm between two other places. Okay, I'm breaking the rule on myself.
You will break the rule every time.
Okay, Zuni Cafe in San Francisco, or in Nashville, City House. Okay, it's kind of like a neighborhood restaurant. It's incredible. It's got some of the best soul food you'll ever taste. It's wildly creative, and it's kind of like effortless.
I mean, listen, Suni Cafe, that's opened in the late 70s,
Yeah.
I think 79. Judy Rogers, I mean, use the roasted chicken.
And one of the
It's,
greatest, which I love, Caesar salads of all time. Like, incredible.
Where? At Zuni Cafe?
Yeah.
So what are you choosing of those two?
I mean, listen,
I'll
Ari
go
and
San
Ben,
Francisco. Zuni.
Ari and Ben, you did okay because the restaurants you mentioned, they were great, but you are the ones that gave the names.
We're civilians.
We know nothing.
We know nothing.
I know, but you should know better because you are going to have the most famous podcast in the history. Wolfgang and me, we were talking and we were expecting so much more from you. And this,
I thought his choices were horrible.
The
My
restaurants
last two
you
were
choose.
good.
A little better. You are a step
Yeah,
up.
thank you very
the
much.
restaurants
But
you
wait
choose
to
Go
go.
on the list.
Way to
the
go.
restaurants you choose,
Okay.
they're amazing.
All right, so on the list for sure. Two of the things on the list,
McDonald's.
Chez Panisse
Yeah.
and Bernardin. For sure, those two are on the
Bernardin.
list, right? Because
Yeah.
it was on your list, but you didn't put it on your list, but you wanted to put it on your list. Those two are definitely on the list. Okay.
Yeah.
Now we have to pick two. Because there's
Oh
four.
my God.
So out of the
Very
list,
complicated.
we have to pick two more. So give us, what are their, because don't listen to us.
Okay, we got the Inn at Little Washington, Patrick O'Connell. We got Charlie, these are Jose's. We got Charlie Trotter. And we have Jean-Louis Palladin.
Yeah.
Wolfgang has Four Seasons, New York.
Yeah.
Has
Alinea.
Alinea
And
and Le Bernardin and Chez Panisse.
yeah.
And you have
No, you don't worry about me. But I want to ask you a question. So Chez Panisse and Le Bernardin are both on the list.
On the list.
Okay. The question is, those 3 out of the 4, I think, don't exist anymore, right?
what do you mean?
Which is okay.
No, I'm not saying.
Chez Panisse exists?
No,
Of the last 2.
Oh, got it.
Which one?
This is Mount Rushmore. I mean,
I'm okay with this. I'm just saying.
Hermanos,
I'm just.
Los Pollos Hermanos doesn't exist anymore either.
So I want to ask you a question. What's his name that did the caviar, whitefish,
Jean-Louis Palladin.
Jean-Louis Palladin.
Would you put him over all what you've heard?
I just think now I put somebody else even. It's Paul Prudhomme.
Well, you're adding.
Yeah.
You already broke
I
the
think
rules.
Paul Prudhomme changed what food from New Orleans is.
What restaurant?
Cape Paul.
Oh.
Cape Paul was the most famous thing. He used to be on TV. He was probably one of the most famous chefs of the
God.
80s and 90s.
What's his name?
Paul Prudhomme. Google it.
What do you think, Jose?
I mean, Paul Prudhomme. I mean, the influence he had not only in New Orleans and in the Southern cooking, but all across America. I mean, Paul Prudhomme.
But that's really about the chef. Is it about the restaurant?
Yeah, K. Paul was his restaurant. His wife was Kay, and his name was Paul.
K. Paul.
And you had to stand in line. You could not make reservation. People, when he opened at 5, people went there at 2 and waited until he opened in New Orleans.
Did you eat there, Jose, ever?
I lost you. Which one?
K. Paul.
No, I didn't.
He came to many of my events I did, also very charitable, always yes.
Great food.
And he started the plucking thing, plucking redfish, plucking ribeye steak, and he had Cape Paul seasonings, and really, really an interesting thing. He expanded out and everything, but I really loved him. I think he is one of my favorites in America, and he represented.
You can't put him on the list. You can't do it. You can't. He wasn't on the original list. Okay. Right. You screwed it up on your list.
We got Alinea. Was it Alinea?
Alinea, yeah.
Alinea. French Laundry. Zuni Cafe. Four Seasons. Four Seasons is kind of a fun answer. I've never been, but...
No, it was incredible.
You are too young for that.
Yeah, it was incredible.
I did a dinner there. They did there also a lot for California because they had a barrel tasting in New York where all the at that time, when I was at Ma Maison or at Spargo, you went to Napa, they had 40 wineries. Now they have like 300 or more. So Paul Colby and Tom Margitay organized a barrel tasting. So they brought all their new releases to New York, where New York was so Franco and Italian and Spain or whatever, European wines, and they really promoted.
Are you okay with the Four Seasons? You're going to have to pick 2 more, guys. You two, the experts, are going to have to pick 2 out of your list. Don't give me that look. Drink some more wine and have some more caviar.
I think we went in the wrong way to choose the Mount Rushmore of restaurants. Because we were supposed to go back to, even longer. I mean,
should have done like Del Monte.
Okay,
what was the one at Antoine's in New Orleans?
Yeah, or Brennan's. They're famous too. But Paul Prudhomme came out of one of these places, and he changed.
You can't put him on the list. It wasn't on the list.
I know.
What about what's the name that came out of Charlie Trotter's that Wolfgang had?
I can have Charlie Trotter too. I love Charlie Trotter, so it's not a problem.
I mean, if we're talking about a great restaurant with a chef that very much has had the biggest influence, representing in America, Chicago.
I don't like Chicago. I think we should find another city.
No.
Too many people from Chicago.
Chicago was known for the deep pizza, right? And Charlie Trotter did something in the most unlikely city that put modern American food on the map. Chefs in Europe began looking at America with more respect. And Charlie Trotter.
You guys got to look at this doc. Exactly. We're gonna add Charlie Trotter.
Are we okay?
No, but Wolfgang Pack has to agree.
No, I'm fine.
Okay.
I'm fine with any of them. I don't just
so we
think,
have
it's very hard to choose.
But Wolfgang, we are forgetting a lot of restaurants, right?
Yeah.
When I came to America, Andrés Olner, Lutèce,
yeah,
New York.
Exactly.
Oh my God.
Well, you're the expert. You forgot it.
Yeah.
No, you only gave me 4.
Well, that's called Rushmore.
What happened? The problem is this podcast that is ill-conceived.
Maybe we add an extra one.
Every time we have anybody on with this podcast, they say this is the stupidest idea you've ever had.
No. It's the best idea, but the rules of engagement.
It's challenging. You're right.
Are
well,
here's the thing that hasn't been represented though. This is like mostly French, kind of new. There's no barbecue. There's no nothing else.
Well, he did. What's his name? But he wasn't on the list.
Like, what about Franklin's?
Franklin's deserves to be a place that has a line around the corner.
That wasn't on anybody's list.
I know, but I'm just saying.
Yeah. But to me,
My
Paul
father
Prudhomme
used to
first.
make
He
dog
made a
food
big
with
difference.
brisket.
I mean, you get this thing. He had how
Would
many
you
books?
put Paul Prudhomme on your list as the fourth?
Oh my God! I mean, commanders, Capo. I mean,
It was going to change the entire rule of the show if we take
which
somebody.
which ones are the other three?
Here's the three so far.
Chez Panisse, Bernardin, Charlie Trotter.
You got to pick one more, guys.
I
think for diversity, to have something from New Orleans, he is the first one really who made American food.
Well, that's
Listen to the passion here. How are we going to?
Something.
well, that's why I have City House in Nashville, because it is really kind of soul food.
Yeah, but
It's not the same.
Paul, I remember when Vincent Price was a good customer of ours in the 80s already,
Right.
around 90. So, and he wanted to go there because Paul came out. I actually did a dinner with him at Spargo once, and then he came to the Food and Wine. And so Vincent said, I want to go with my wife Carol to see
That
Cape
restaurant.
Paul. I'm going to be in New Orleans. Can you make a reservation? I called up Paul, and he said, no, we don't take reservations. I said, but it's Vincent Price. Don't you know Vincent Price? He even wrote cookbooks and everything. He said, but we don't take reservations. I said, you have to do something. He said, okay, tell him he has to come through the back where the kitchen door is in the back and come in.
That's funny.
Yeah. I mean, they have people standing. I always joked with him. I said, I'm going to have a margarita bar or Sazerac bar or whatever outside and serve the guests. They're gonna
Okay, Jose, what's the fourth?
my God.
I like this guy in Washington, D.C. at Watergate.
I like Patrick O'Connell at the Inn a Little Washington, but I need Wolfgang Pack to support that.
No, I like Paul Prudhomme. For me, it's
We might have to break the rule here.
yeah,
I mean, the passion here.
because he changed what people thought about American. That was a pure American expression. You couldn't get
I think
it
we're
in
going to go
France.
with this, Jose.
Jose, do you accept this?
I mean, you're in LA. I'm here in
That's
DC.
We
I'm
need somebody in the
surrounded by
middle.
now.
Forget about Chicago already.
But my point is, I'm not going to be taking anything away Paul Prudhomme has done. We're talking about the restaurant. It's very hard for me, and this is part of your problem on this podcast that is ill-conceived, that if I didn't experience the restaurant, obviously we can have an opinion without being there. I am 100% the influence of Paul Prudhomme. I agree 100% with Wolfgang. But I have a feeling like, I mean, I'm going to put it against Emery Lagasse. Was not his restaurant one of the ultimate
No,
restaurants?
but Paul was way above. Not to take anything away from Emeril, but Paul was the first one who laid the foundation for a chef from New Orleans who made that popular. You know how often he was on Larry King? You know, Larry King was one of the most popular shows on CNN. I told Larry, I saw him at our restaurant. I said, how come Paul is always at your thing? He said, I love Paul and I like what he cooks. That's the smell of it. And Paul, you know, he was in a scooter because he was so big. Yeah, he couldn't really walk. I remember my son used to...
No, Ozempic.
I know.
All right, you keep on looking at your list, Jose. You're very concerned here.
No, I cannot be concerned because Paul Prudhomme, without a doubt, and the restaurant he opened more than one. Without a doubt, I agree 100% with Wolfgang. I'm only trying
All
to
right,
see...
then let's stop now so it's perfect. See?
Okay.
No.
I'm leaving. I have to go to work.
You're almost like the Sopranos.
Oh, shit. Can I get a little water?
I'm only going to say this thing.
Okay.
We're talking about the person right now. We're not talking about the restaurant.
That's a good point.
Yeah, but the restaurant
and
too.
you're
I
changing
mean,
the rules of engagement here.
what restaurant would you go today to spend 3 hours in line to get in? I mean, the excitement, you could see these people when they finally walked them in. It was crazy. And they cut off.
Taxes, Delhi, in the busy days, you have a line to go in.
Huh?
I mean, you don't have fancy restaurants today and they have a line.
No,
And they are not fancy.
But we don't have just the fanciest one, but I think his was definitely regarded as the restaurant because he got all this publicity with CNN and all this.
All right, then, Jose, you got to pick one.
Okay, because we are in the moment of let's make America great again. Let's bring an ultimate American chef. I agree with
Okay, Paul Prudhomme.
I
Now,
agree
let me
with
just
you.
be very clear. We're going with this list. I know it's under a little bit of protest, the fourth.
Yeah.
And it's a
No,
bad.
no, but
and it's a-
I
no,
would
no,
make sure
wait. And it's a bad concept, Rushmore. I know it's a bad concept, and we're under protest. The next one we do, so you guys have a little bit more time to collaborate or not collaborate, we're going to do international.
Okay, but we will do it. I will be in LA with you.
Okay.
I bring the caviar.
Perfect.
I bring
Okay.
Okay.
the champagne
Okay.
and Wolfgang, and I will bring Austrian wine.
You know what we can
Yeah.
do? We'll do it either at your restaurant or one of his restaurants in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Okay?
I love that.
No, not in the kitchen. You're two troublemakers.
Yeah.
We'll do it in the dining room.
Well, first of all, thank you guys for doing this. It was really fun. It was so exciting to kind of hear this. My mouth is watering right now. I know Ben's is.
Yeah.
So
So what is the rock
Here's
and
the
roll
full-
group?
here-
No, the rock and roll. I want to know what.
I will send the rock and roll
We'll send
ones.
the rock and roll
We'll
to
send
you.
this
Okay,
out.
good.
I love you, Jose. Stay
I
warm.
love you more.
You guys are
And
wonderful.
listen, if this podcast survives more than one podcast,
No.
you should be in the Rushmore of podcasts.
We love you. Ciao.